All right. Well, today we're going to do something a little different. Uh, I've had people ask me how I got the cars to light up. The video I did not long ago with the Blues Brothers, and then the last videos with the lighted cars. There, people are like, "Wow, those lighted cars are really cool. Where can I get those?" And you can buy them online. There are people that make them and sell them online. You get them on eBay or Etsy. I've seen them, but they're usually over $100 a piece. Um, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to make your own and where to get the kit. And the kit I use is from Technical Designs. Technical Designs is a guy that he's out of Madison, Wisconsin. I met him probably about almost 10 years ago. Um, but he's a one man show basically. He does it part time, and he makes these LED kits to put in Hot Wheels, Matchboxes, or whatever diecast car you have. He does do custom work if you needed a kit with certain lights or sounds or whatever. He does stuff like that. He does a great job. There are the people that are selling kits right now, but Technical Designs is the best, I believe. And I bought a bunch of their kits early on, and I've met Nick a couple times. He's a great guy. So let's take a look at the car here. There's the 1970 Dodge Super Bee. I'm sorry if the lighting isn't better. And this is an M2 diecast. And I like to use M2s a lot and Hot Wheels. And the reason why I like to use M2s is because they screw. And they're easy to work with, especially if you get the ones without the opening doors. It's easier to put the light kit in. And here's what the bottom looks like when we're done with a kit. Now here's the charging port right here. And there's the button to turn it on and off. You got, on this kit, you got your regular headlights. You got high beams. There's the high beams. Same with tail lights. You got brake lights. And he also has this little wig-wag thing. And you got your regular lights. So that's what it looks like when it's done. Okay. And he makes several types of kits. He makes a rechargeable kit, and he makes a battery-powered kit. Battery-powered kit takes your standard little coin battery here. I would advise not buying the battery kits. Get the rechargeable kit. And the reason I say this is the battery kit is about the same as the rechargeable kit, except you have this huge battery to deal with, and it's even bigger when you put the battery in. It takes up a lot of room inside one of these little cars. You can see how big that is, trying to fit it into a car. So I ended up buying a bunch of these early on. I said, and I should have bought more of the rechargeable kits. At the time, I was going for cheap. I was looking for, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it, and the battery kits I thought were cheaper, but they're actually more expensive in the long run. The rechargeable kit is more expensive, and you do need to buy the charger too. He does sell the chargers. They hook up to any cell phone charger. Basically, it's a mini plug, plugs in, and I definitely recommend getting a charger. Um, Once you have these together, it's kind of a pain to take them apart to change the battery. I have probably at least 15 to 20 cars that run on batteries, and I just changed a bunch of batteries, and the batteries really aren't that cheap. They're like $3, sometimes $4 a piece. You can buy them cheaper if you buy them in bulk. But I would just strongly recommend just staying away from the batteries. That being said, get the charger, and this is what we're doing as far as putting these in. They do require a bit of drilling and filing. So if you are not comfortable using drills or other tools, I wouldn't recommend doing these kits. Um, I do recommend using Hot Wheels as much as possible and M2s. Like I said before, M2 has the screw on base, which makes them easy to use. And Hot Wheels, even though they have the rivet base, Hot Wheels are cheap. And when you first start doing this, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to gouge your car. You're going to misdrill. Maybe, you're going to mess something up. And it's best to do it with a cheap $1.49 Hot Wheel than it is a $6 to $10 M2 or Greenlight or Auto World. And Hot Wheel has stepped up its game, I have to admit. I found some Hot Wheel castings that are true 164, and the 64 Chevy is one of them. The 62 Chevy is another one, and the 61 Chevy. These are all true 164 scale cars. And then over here on the in the vise, I have an M2 1957 Ford Coupe. And I like the 1957 Ford Coupe because it has round headlights and round taillights, which makes it real easy to do the drilling. When you have rectangular or square lights, you got to get the files out and do a bit more work to get them to fit. So here's where we're at. The first thing I do when I'm doing one of these kits is I get them on the charger. You want to make sure these kits are charged up before you go through the problem of the time of putting them in. I have never had any problems with the kits, but it's just something that I do to just to make sure. I test my LEDs before I put them in the buildings. I test the signs. You test everything, because if you don't, the time you don't is the time you do a really complicated build, and that's when you discover that the lights don't work, and now you're looking at ripping apart something that you just spent God knows how many hours putting together. So the tools that you're going to need, you can do it. You can do it with hand tools. You can do it with one of these, and I have. Your hands are going to be really sore if you do. But what I do recommend is that you start your drills by hand. You start your holes by hand. A Dremel has a tendency to buck around a little bit, and use it on its lower RPM settings at first, because, like I said, they will buck on you sometimes. And then all of a sudden you'll end up right across your beautiful die cast and make a boo boo, which you don't want. So what I generally do is when I drill a hole in a headlight or a tail light, and most of your headlights and tail lights are going to be domed out. That's just the way they. If you look at a headlight on a car, the old headlights on a car, they were domed. So if you try to drill into that dome without leveling it down a little bit or making a divot in it, it's gonna slide on you, and you're not gonna get a really good straight hole. You're going to be crooked, or you're going to be off on your headlights. It could look a little goofy. So you definitely want to take care with drilling your holes. So what I do is I take a bit. Let's see if we can get. There we go. That's a little better. So basically, I guess I don't know if they call this a mandrel or something like that. But this is a Dremel, and it's just a rounded off grinding attachment here. And these are nice, and it got a rounded tip like that, and it's got little spurls around, little, I don't know what you'd want, the little cutting teeth on there. And so what I'll do with that is I'll take that and very carefully I'll nip the headlight or tail light. I'll start putting a little dent in it. Really, you got to be really careful. Go slowly on it, and just make enough so that you can get in there with your drill. And then you just really want to carefully get in there. And get it down to where you can at least get the drill bit in there without it moving around. And then just switch your bit or use another bit the same size and put it in your Dremel, and then you can finish it. I do recommend using some cutting fluid. You get it at any hardware store or automotive shop that's worth a damn. It helps keep your drill bits cool. It helps do a little bit of lubrication on the bit, keeps it from getting stuck. Helps pull out the chips that you're drilling. I don't have any cutting fluid right now, so I'm just using a real light oil. And just enough to keep it from sticking. And then we started doing our holes. Now with the Hot Wheels, a lot of times they got plastic grills on them, and those are a lot easier to drill. But I'd recommend drill on a plastic bodied car like this. I would recommend drilling the holes before you take it apart, because the metal body helps give the grill a bit of support. So when you're drilling in it, you're not just drilling onto the plastic. You got a little metal behind it. Keeps it from breaking, I think. Just makes it easier, to me anyways. So we got the headlights drilled out on this one. Still got to do the tail lights. I did these the other day. I got the headlights drilled out because the plastic, it's easy. So now I got to do all the hard stuff. A vise is very nice. It will rhyme here. It's hard. Man, it's hard to see. I suppose I probably should get some better lighting in here, huh? But this one I drilled out the headlights, and this is the 57. I just got to drill out the tail lights. Like I said, a vise is great. This one I only paid $4 for at a rummage sale. It's got the It's got the soft jaws on it, which is great for body work. Otherwise, if you're using a regular vise, you might want to pad the jaws so it doesn't damage the surface of your car. Also, too, you don't want to put these in too tight. You want them tight enough so where it holds the work nice without it shifting around, but you don't want it cranked down so hard that you're going to crush the car. So that's where we're at right now.